This week on the Scriptorian Archives, we continue alongside Aramus to learn about his brothers and sisters, the Arkhons, specifically the second and third generations. Enjoy as we continue to explore the world of Kiinspion, and more specifically, its pantheon.
My brother Varkon is of the second generation. He was the first commander created by a dying star. His mind knew unbelievable ways to solve any situation, but it also knew no restraint. We reserved him for times of war, to restore peace to broken planets, extinguish lost causes, and occasionally eliminate a rogue Arkhon. These instances were few and far between, but when they did occur, we were grateful to have Varkon on our side. Now some would say that he's a bit of a creator himself, for he created the Ashen Barrens, a once beautiful and lush land known as the Windbend Veldt, turned to crag and lava. He also takes partial responsibility for the creation of the ghastly Gorkons. I apologize if I seem biased. I know these accounts should be neutral, but by God, have you seen some of those creatures? Varkon has also been in the hot seat lately with his most recent events at Thalmor 4, and he is still upset that he was banished from stepping onto the lands of Kiinspion. I have informed him frequently that I am sorry, but my job is merely to report the facts. It is not my fault that he decimates almost everything he touches. The beings of Kiinspion view him as the god of war. Obviously, they call to him in times of battle. Thank goodness for Brother Kaelor, who carries a similar role, but with a bit of levity, and I'm completely honest, a whole lot of luck, because he can be even more foolish than Varkon at times. Speaking of Kaelor, he's a distant relative of the third generation, and considered the God of Valor. That is because, similar to Varkon, when all hell broke loose, there he was, standing in the middle of it, resolute and completely oblivious to the insanity around him. Now, if you were to look at him, you would see a man with the greatest posture you have ever seen. A great big fanged smile, an impressive battle axe, and extremely powerful evocation abilities. Some ancients view him as the god of lightning, though I will say, if any of the beings of Kiinspion saw him more recently, they would see a more beaten down, scarred up, drunken version of his former self. Still impressive nonetheless. Still proud, just a little beat up. Makes him seem a little bit less immortal. Now, while we're on the topic of the third generation, I might as well touch on his siblings. Myrielle is one of my favorites and has encouraged me to return to writings in my own voice, instead of speaking through a damned cog all the time. So you may blame her powers of persuasion for my erratic scribblings in the blasted catalog. She ushered in an age of intergalactic peace and flourishing after her birth. Her job, as she saw it, was not merely stewardship and survival at a galactic scale, but ensuring each society and creature thrived at a more individual level. She believed in flourishing through inspiration. She saw creativity, beauty, and meaning as the most important values. She also spent time with each of the other Arkhons, honing their purposes and inspiring them to become better versions of themselves. Even Shuman was made better by being around her. She did not necessarily forge worlds herself, but her influence is everywhere. All you have to do is look, or read this catalog. I suspect my expressiveness is due to her. She told me to feel what I say and write, not merely state it plainly. She said that is boring, and what everyone else does drives the world mad, but makes it a lot more fun for you. And shouldn't that matter? When you are an intergalactic well of knowledge, should you not be allowed to share your perspective? I love her dearly, and I hope she reads this. She is worshipped as the goddess of inspiration and beauty. Shocker. Next up is her brother Thandros. An interesting one. Powerful like his brother, yet less combative and more elegant like his sister. It took a while for him to find his meaning, but when he did, he thrived greatly, and so did the worlds he appointed. He finds leaders, guides their footsteps, and places them into the roles of leadership they deserve. Every kingdom he guided flourished and found order. Today he is worshipped as the God of Nobility, for he presides over nearly all great leaders throughout Kiinspion. But recently our brother has fallen upon hard times. His appointed sovereign turned sour. Hopefully that ship turns around and he finds another. He says he has been eyeing one up and has high hopes, but we shall see. Where to next? Back to the top, perhaps. Ah, yes, my dear sister Elaria of the second generation. Leave it to fate to place her and Varkon in the same generation. She is the keeper of consciousness, and for many years she assisted Chuman in the founding moments of sentient life. She influences perspective, sense of well-being, and inner peace. Although she has no new minds to fill since Chuman's passing, she still moves about, guiding and influencing the new populace toward peace and benevolence. I told her it is a worthy pursuit, and I wished her good luck. But in all seriousness, we are fortunate to have her. The world of Kiinspion is even more fortunate to have her sole attention on this one thread. Although if Lirien ever catches up to Chuman's former power, Elaria will once more be tied up filling the voidless minds of the fashioned bodies Lirien produces. But that is yet to be seen. Lirien is quite powerful in her own right and spent the most time with Chuman as his understudy and aide. She was tasked with taking pressure off Chuman and watching over his creations after they were formed. Her creative powers operate at a slower pace, much like water shaping rock, instead of speaking and it becoming so. But she can manipulate existing environments and beings in a fashion similar to Visaru and Varkon. She is equal parts warrior and lover. Her creation is not to be trifled with. She is beloved by the people of Kiinspion as the goddess of nature. Her one wing of feathers and one of vine and leaves has become a symbol to the great people of Magamish. Nymera is the last of the second generation I will speak of today, and if I am being honest, many of the facts about her elude me. I know she began as the Watcher of the Deep, able to delve into the waters better than any of us. But in those murky depths, she made many discoveries she has yet to share. It is my hope to one day investigate her sanctum and discover what secrets she has kept from me. She governs the waters of Kiinspion well, and has kept her head level despite the unraveling of her beloved king. Why Arkhons ever dare trifle with the mortals is beyond me. Myrielle says I should encourage romance and entertain it, but I think it is a fool's errand to pursue love when death is inevitable. I learned that long ago. Nymera was on Kiinspion before many of us called it our last hope. She is deeply tied into their culture and has left her stamp on places such as Catheris. Nymera is worshipped as the goddess of sea and secrets, and if any glimpse a moving city in the ocean, they say a prayer that she passes by gently. I am becoming tired. I will finish these etchings soon, but but even gods must close their eyes once in a while. Even a creature of night such as myself. I assure you, I will finish the etchings tomorrow at the rising.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. You've been told a million times, but please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting so more people will make it this far. We are super excited about this journey, and we hope you are too. If you'd like to learn more about what we're doing, you can visit rocketswordgames.com. Hopefully we can see you at game launch.